going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it's actually the weekend before my first clinical rotation. So I got a question in my Instagram DMs asking me to go over the ups and downs of Didactic. And so as most of you guys know, and as I've explained it multiple times, Didactic is kind of the classroom portion of whatever, graduate school program that you're in. And so for PA school, so for my program, my Didactic portion was 16 months, and clinicals, where I do all my rotations, that's gonna be 12 months. And so for medical schools, most of them are 2 years Didactic and then 2 years clinical doing your rotations. So just to give you guys an idea of what Didactic actually means, somebody asked me to go over the ups and downs of my experience of Didactic portion of PA school. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you guys. So I'm gonna start out with the downs, and me being real with you guys, there are definitely a lot of difficulties and hard times during Didactic. And so I'm gonna start out with the downs, and then I wanna finish with the ups or the positives so that we can end on a good note. The biggest down or con, or however you wanna put it, is time management and lack of time you have. And so what I mean by that is you're gonna spend so much time studying that you're not gonna have a lot of time for other things, especially your friends, time for your friends, family, life events, even time for yourself. Sometimes you don't have enough time to take care of yourself, even though it is really important to set aside time to take care of yourself and spend time with your friends and family. It may just seem like you don't have a lot of time. So when you do start PA school, it's gonna be crazy. The amount of classes that you're taking, most PA students, I would say, take around 18 to 23 credits in a term. What? And so you're looking at like 6 to 8 classes, or like 5 to 9, depending how small the classes are. It's a big workload, and so it's definitely tough. And time management is probably the biggest thing that you have to work on. And if your time management skills aren't great, you're gonna struggle. And I definitely struggled a lot. And so time management is definitely the biggest thing, like the lack of time that you have for other things besides school. And that kind of is a pro as well. You're spending this time doing something that you love, that you're passionate about. So that's also really cool, in that although you don't have a lot of time for other things, you're dedicating a lot of time into something that you love doing. And the time that you are using to study and whatnot, that's gonna be taken away from more of your social aspect of your life. So time away from friends, from family, and things like that. I think the hardest thing that I had to deal with was, the time that I missed out with friends and family. And I know most of you guys probably know that my grandma actually passed away mid-September, so just over a month ago. And that was definitely a really hard time for me, because I was in the midst of exams and a lot of stuff going on. And PA school classes are all mandatory Monday through Friday, and so it's really difficult. And they are excusable if you do have like a funeral to go to or whatnot. But yeah, stuff like that happens, and you kind of miss out on that time prior to where you could have been hanging out with a loved one or whatnot. So you definitely got to be very ready for it, and expect the worst in terms of the lack of time that you might have for your friends and family. But be very vocal about it, be very honest to them, and let them know that this is probably the hardest time of your life, the most busiest time of your life, and you might not be able to make it to everything. I was able to go to my grandma's funeral and spend time with my family, which was nice to see my family and whatnot. But definitely would have liked to see my grandma again. She's in a better place now. So going back to my main point, time is something that you'll lack a lot of, because you're spending so much of your time studying and trying to prepare for your exams. And kind of going off of that, you're just gonna have so many exams, you're gonna have so many things to do in PA school that's just related to PA school in general. It's not even any extracurricular stuff that you have to do. You don't have to join a bunch of clubs and organizations, but just all the studying that you have for all your exams, that's just crazy. And I think another downfall of Didactic is that it leads to burnout. It's so much information in such a short period of time, and they obviously have to throw all these exams at you, that it's really difficult and hard to not cram. Medicine as a whole is just incredible in terms of how much knowledge there is and how much information there is, and you're only going to really cover a fraction of it during your Didactic portion. And programs really have to, stay on top of feeding you as much information, all the information that you do need to know for clinicals and for, you know, passing the national exam. Burning out is a thing that happens very commonly in the didactic portion because you just have so many exams, you're super tired, you're lacking sleep. It's a short period of time. If you can make through it without being burnt out, I really commend you because it's hard. I think I got burnt out like 4 or 5 times throughout the didactic portion, and usually closer to the end of the year. You know, the beginning of each session, I'm very motivated, very excited, but then as the classes drag on, as you have more and more exams, you have less sleep, you definitely feel the burn. And so definitely felt burnt out, but it's okay. I'm feeling excited and very eager to go on clinical rotations, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, those were kind of the 2 main downfalls of didactic, was just the lack of time that you have for other things, as well as getting burnt out. And so moving on to the pros, kind of going off the time thing, you know, you do have less time for family and friends and your social life, but you're spending all this time doing something that you're passionate about, doing something that you're gonna be using for the rest of your life as a provider. And so that's really exciting, and I think that's where the lack of time for other things kind of gets balanced out, in the sense that, you know, you're not wasting your time doing something that is not going to be useful. You know, all this information that you are learning, all this information that you are studying is going to be beneficial to you as a future provider. And so that's a really cool thing. You know, it's a little different from undergrad in the sense that a lot of the college courses that you take are more introductory and very foundational and basic, like, you know, things about the cell, mitochondria. Yeah, they're important, but they're not as clinically relevant. You know, like learning about phylogenies and evolution, that's not as relevant and not as, you know, applicable to what you're gonna be doing as a future PA or whatever provider that you do become. It's awesome to spend that time to, you know, learn all this information that are gonna be your tools to help your patients in the future. So I think the biggest thing and the most positive thing that I gained out of didactic portion of PA school are my classmates that became my family. Whether your class is 24 students or 100 students, you're gonna get close with a lot of them. And you guys are all gonna struggle together. You guys are all gonna, you know, stay up late together, cram, and, you know, go through the struggle of didactic and, you know, hopefully succeed together. And that will definitely make you guys closer. And I definitely feel like I got very close with my classmates. I appreciate all of them. And, you know, we're all so different and we're all very unique, but we're all striving for this common goal of becoming competent and compassionate future PAs. So I'm really happy to have gone through the didactic portion of PA school with these people who, you know, I met for the first time 16 months ago, and now they're my family. And so really thankful for them. And, you know, we went through hell. Our last session, we had like 30 or 40 exams. I don't even know. Like, I had a little list that I made, but yeah, it was a struggle for sure. But going through that together really helped bring us together, and all of us making it through, you know, was kind of the icing on the cake. So those were my pros and cons of the didactic portion of PA school. Please comment below any more video topics you want me to cover. I'm starting clinical year very soon, so I'm really excited for that. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know as well. Don't forget to be like my blood type, be positive. I'll see you guys in the next